Sorry for the awkward silence. I haven't gotten the red light yet. There we go. All right, I call this meeting of the Pittsburg City Commission to order. Will you please rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We'll begin tonight with public input, so if you are here to share with us, I'll ask that you'll come forward, state your name, and go ahead and give us your spiel. Go ahead, Tom.
I'm Tom Wehrman. I'm here for the Pittsburgh Ministerial Association. I'd like to lift up an invocation as we begin this meeting. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, in our Savior's name, we ask for the elected leaders of our city, your spirit of wisdom, humility, courage, and peace, that they may promote the common good, hear the voices of the poor and the powerless, and serve as faithful stewards of your handiwork. For to you belongs the glory and dominion, now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Tom. Is there anyone else here for public input? All right, seeing none, we'll close public input. And we have a proclamation this evening regarding Project Warmth, which I will deliver. Is there anyone here to receive it? Yeah, if you want to come on up, Luann. So, whereas Project Warmth is a community effort that has been in existence for 30 years, and whereas on Thursday, November 1st, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., citizens may visit the lower level of the Memorial Auditorium and Convention Center and enjoy a bowl of chili or soup and a slice of homemade pie. Homemade pie. I emphasize that part. To support this worthy cause. And whereas reaching the annual goal would not be possible without the generous support of local businesses who donate their time and products to make this event successful. And whereas we ask our community to support this effort and assist our neighbors in Crawford County with utility payments during the winter months. Now, therefore, I, Jeremy Johnson, Mayor of the City of Pittsburg, Kansas, do hereby proclaim Thursday, November 1st, 2018, as Project Warmth Day in Pittsburgh, and urge all citizens to attend this important fundraiser to help our fellow citizens. Right. Congratulations. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Jeremy, on behalf of Project Warmth Committee, which is made up of a number of organizations, Catholic Charities, Salvation Army, myself, Luann Collier from Wesley House, the Pittsburgh Ministerial Alliance, and just individuals that truly work to benefit the city of Pittsburgh and Crawford County and to make it a better place. We'd like to say thank you to the commissioners and the mayor tonight for recognizing this important day. What we do with these funds is used to help families throughout the county to pay their utility bills. And those are vetted and go through Salvation Army and Catholic Charities, go directly to our utility companies. And so we are helping our families stay warm, whether it's a senior that has to make that decision between paying their medicine or paying their utility bills or having food on the table, or whether it's a family that are worried about keeping their kiddos warm. Because their utilities are about to be shut off. This truly does make a difference in people's lives. We invite you to come out and join us in this important day. And as Jeremy said, the pie is hard to beat. It's the biggest choice is trying to decide what kind to have that day. And a lot of people use it as a community event. They might come in when we open at 11 and they're still sitting there at 2 visiting with people. So please come out, enjoy the day. If you're a business owner or a manager, think about providing lunch for your employees. We do to-go orders. I'm the to-go room lady, and let us know, and we can get that fixed up for you anytime you want. And I'm going to turn it over to Pastor Tom.
Okay. Thank you, Luann. And as Luann mentioned, the work of Project Warmth is serious. I mean, it's serious business that we're taking care of. But it's also a good opportunity to work on a serious task with your neighbors and your friends and to come together and to enjoy that time together. So I would just want to add my invitation as well to come and enjoy a nice warm bowl of chili or soup. And I think, I don't know that we can mention the pie too many times. And and just to come together, to work together to help our neighbors with Project Warmth. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. All right, we will now move into the consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
I'd like to have item I removed.
Item I.
I would like to remove item F and J.
And I would like to remove
Oh boy, start writing these down.
C and D.
Holy cow.
Okay, so make sure that I've got these C, D, F, I, J.
Don?
Any others?
Did somebody say E? I have.
I don't think we did.
None.
Okay, so with the exceptions of items C, D, F, I, and J, I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda minus those items. You don't have to repeat them back to me.
So move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve. Roll call vote.
Chenoweth? Aye. Johnson?
Aye.
O'Brien?
Aye.
McNay?
Aye.
Munsell?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. So we will begin with item C, which reads approval of resolution number 1211, declaring the necessity for and authorizing the design, construction, and improvement of the intersection of South Rouse Avenue and East Quincy Street with an amount not to exceed $250,000 and, if approved, authorize the mayor to sign the resolution on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh. I don't know whose item this
Me.
was, so go ahead,
Cameron,
Patrick.
I have a question. We keep talking about widening Quincy to Rouse. Is this intersection going to accommodate this as we move forward?
The signals will be set where if the widening were to happen, they would not have to be relocated. That was one of the considerations in the design of it. The actual intersection itself will not be receiving any physical improvements outside of the signal
Okay.
and perhaps sidewalk.
I noticed that there's cameras listed on this. Are these smart lights?
Cameras would be able to be utilized by our IT department as well. It's also part of what we're looking at using radar for detection of vehicles as well. So we have both of those there.
And this intersection is totally city funded, is that correct?
Yes.
No other questions?
Cameron, this was part of the capital outlay plan, is that correct?
Correct, and the commission already approved doing the design, so the design is nearing being wrapped up and be able to go out for bid shortly.
All right. Are there any other questions?
No other questions, I move approval.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to approve. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item D, approval of resolution number 1212, declaring the necessity for and authorizing the design and construction of certain improvements to the Dawn Gutteridge Sports Complex with a cost not to exceed $200,000 and, if approved, authorize the mayor to sign the resolution on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh.
Here again, it's just a couple of questions, or a statement a bit, I guess. One reason that we're doing this is because of the economic development impact that this facility has for the city. I don't know whether Kim can tell us how many people come see, use this, but that certainly is a reason, part of the reason that we're spending the money on this.
We certainly have about anywhere between 100 and 150,000 people probably through Lincoln Park in the course of the year, between our visitors and those that come to the YMCA, but between the golf course, the aquatic center, and Little Balkans Days and the 4th of July, and all of those festivities have these complexes open for the restrooms and concessions, let alone all the ball tournaments that we have there. So, it's a large number that come through the complex.
Well-used complex. You say in this that it's a minimum of 2 restrooms.
Correct.
are, depending on money, we can have more or what?
Correct. Well, no, we won't, we're not going to do more. We will just do the two that are there. They will be, they'll be a larger scale,
Okay.
obviously, if we get the Land and Water Conservation Fund, which right now we have a verbal confirmation that we are going to receive that grant, but we do not have the paperwork for that grant yet. So, so we will just have two facilities. One will replace Kelly Concession Stand. If you remember, we talked about that when we did the resolutions for the Land and Water Conservation Fund. And then the other one will be where between Russell and Carnino ball fields, where right now there's batting cages currently. So that would be where the new one will be placed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I.
Any other questions? If there are none, I'll seek a motion for approval.
So move.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item F, approval of ordinance number G-1288, amending section 1.7 of the Pittsburg City Code to increase the probation or parole monitoring fee to $75 and assess an additional fee in the sum of $50 in certain circumstances in the discretion of the judge of the municipal court, and authorize the mayor to sign the ordinance on behalf of the city.
I didn't have any questions about this, just a statement. You convinced me last time that that does need to be done, the fee being raised, but I just wanted to sort of reiterate something that I mentioned last time, that I would really encourage the police department and the city to find a different way to pay this woman. I don't think that her pay should be dependent necessarily on, directly from the people on parole. I think we need to get her on some kind of schedule, part-time or hourly or something. That's all I wanted to note for the record.
So are you thinking that you want to make sure that she's more of a payroll employee? Or are you thinking that you're not really concerned that this gets paid for from probation fees?
I just, I don't know anything about payroll. I've never ran it. I just don't like that it's directly paid from those fees. I think if she's an employee, she needs to be treated more like an employee.
Sure, we can discuss it
Just look-
internally
yeah,
and make some recommendations
Okay.
to the city manager, certainly.
Sure, that's all.
I would also be, in favor of what Sarah's talking about. I agree. I'm not a huge fan of the pay-as-you-go plan for that kind of thing.
Well,
but
it's
if we-
really a contract. I mean, if the person on parole can't or doesn't pay, she still gets paid for her hours?
No.
No, okay. So it's a, okay.
And that's
Point
the rub.
taken.
That's part of the rub. I think it would be good for her protection and the protection of the people who are paying these fees.
Yeah,
to have it
if the
separate.
individuals aren't meeting their sanctions, i.e. if they're not paying their fees, their probation fees, then she makes a recommendation to the judge, whether that be jail time or extended the probation, to make sure that they do pay.
Okay. Any further questions, comments?
I will move to approve.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item I, approval of staff recommendation to award the bid for the City of Pittsburgh Facilities Sanitation Service to WCA of Joplin, Missouri, based on their low bid in the amount of $933.80 per month for the contract period beginning January 1st, 2019 and ending December 31st of 2020.
My question would be, was local preference considered in this bid?
Yeah, what's our local preference ordinance?
3% inside the city, but I didn't look at the calculation.
So I think I calculated it's just over, somebody asked this question earlier, it was over 6%. I mean, it's close, but, so yes, and it didn't meet it.
That 6% is for item J, not item I.
That, so we did the math on the wrong one, then I haven't calculated it either. My bad.
It's 23 or 26%.
For I,
For I, the difference between the bid that they're recommending and the next lowest, more local bid is a difference of, I did the math, I don't remember, 23.
$232.
Yeah.
What's the,
Was it within 3% is the question?
No,
Is
it's
anybody
20
down?
It'd be like
something
20%, yeah.
It's 20-something.
So, I mean,
So it's way out of the ballpark.
Right.
yeah, it's not even close.
okay. I have no further questions.
If there are no other questions, I will seek approval.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion passes. And item J, approval of staff recommendation to award the bid for as-needed sanitation dumpster service to WCA of Joplin, Missouri, based on their low bid in the amount of $125 per pull for a 30 or 40-yard dumpster for the contract period beginning January 1st, 2019 and ending December 31st of 2020.
So I was in asking questions about this earlier, and I obviously, as I think most people do, would prefer to go with a local service, be that Pittsburgh or Frontenac. And item I, the 20-some% difference was just too much for me. But this one, the difference between the WCA bid and the bid from Mid-America Sanitation was 6%. That's a difference of $7.50. I would, even though 6% is more than our 3% local, whatever you call it, consideration, I think $7.50 is an okay. I mean, I could find that in my couch cushions to pay the local people above the corporation. So I would prefer to go with Mid-America Sanitation for the extra $7.50 on that.
Go ahead, Dawn.
What's our precedent with not following our ordinance? And are we setting a precedent for going forward?
I don't think we.
This isn't an ordinance,
Okay.
commission, this is a policy.
A
that the
policy.
city has.
Well, so my question, I guess, would be to Matt, I suppose. Is there qualitative factors not on display here that were also taken into consideration, or?
Not that I'm aware of. We renew it every 2 years. I kind of drew the short straw on this, so I'm not.
It's a group.
But it's every 2 years. It's historically been awarded to the low bidder. The bid policy was written. It was amended 4 years ago, something like that. That we relooked at the local preference policy. You know, I can tell you that on the water tower we had a contractor with local preference that was at 4%, and we didn't award him the bid. So for whatever that's worth, I can tell you that we did do that as well, and we didn't award there. We have no problem with Mid-America. They do it now. We haven't had any problems with their services. It's, they come pick up the 30, 40 yards when we need them. We use them for trash cleanup. I mean, we fill them, and it's usually every couple months we pull them or whatever. We have had no problems with Mid-America. It's just every 2 years we bid it out, and it's been always the low bidder.
Let me ask a question. We say we have this policy of local. I see the address is Frontenac. Do we count that as local?
It has a 3-mile radius on the city limits of Pittsburgh.
So it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would, I don't have a problem with Mid-America too, but I don't think we need to make exceptions for Mid-America over Shorts. I would like to, like you said, Matt, we talked about that 3%, looking at that, maybe possibly go to 5%. Maybe that would help the local people.
Shorts didn't bid
Do
on
what?
this.
This particular line item is for the large roll-offs. The other
Right,
item was
but I don't agree with changing the preferred preference. Is that 3%? Is that what you're saying? This falls within that same?
It exceeds the 3%.
Exceeds the, well, if we do it for one, then we need to do it for the other one. So right now, I think we should leave it as it.
Well, I think what Sarah's saying is the margin of error is significantly smaller.
Yeah, it was
on this one.
26.
It's not 20%, it's.
Well, I still stick with the 3%, so.
And if we want to look at the policy, then we look at
Right.
the policy.
Yeah, so two things. One, Don's exactly right. There's a policy. Whatever we do, I don't think we're going to do anybody any favors by looking at the policy as part of a specific example. So I think on this one, we're kind of stuck. We'd be happy to look at the policy. The second thing, and I will advocate for, is if you start selecting bidders that are not the lowest bidder, then you will start reducing the number of bidders you have, which is going to have an impact on the prices theoretically. I'm just saying that. I'm not I have not run stats. That is how the world works, and that is why we usually take the low bid. But those are the only two things I have to add, and we'll be happy to do whatever the group wants to do.
There are no other questions. I will take a motion on the.
I move to approve.
Second.
All right, it's been moved to approve as is. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Were there any other items that I had not called out?
That's all I've circled.
Okay. Let me get back up to where we were. All right. So we are on to the main agenda. So item A, Earls Engineering and Inspection Incorporated Agreement, Preliminary Engineering Report. Consider entering into an agreement with Earls Engineering and Inspection Incorporated for the development of a preliminary engineering report, or PER, for a regional wastewater treatment plant with the city's cost to be $10,000 of the $193,770 fee.
Mayor, Commissioners, this is the result of a several-month process working with, I think, Sugar Creek. Packing company drove the process, approached the state about their waste, trying to get a deal. Right now, we handle their waste. We pay them a premium. It evolved into the Department of Agriculture, our local representatives, and Representative Mernan and Lusker. We involved the city of Frontenac, Crawford County, the city of Pittsburg, and it was a several-step effort that included surveying the other communities in the county and see if they want to be part of this. It was all part of scope definition. We made it through that process. We talked about it one day at City County lunch. We had everybody in the room. I think we've gotten to a point where we've defined the entities that are going to participate and what their amounts are. I believe that's in the ordinance that you have in front of you. Frontenac has passed this ordinance last week. The county passed this ordinance this week. Obviously, we are the third leg of that stool. It's before you in the same form that they passed it, I'm hoping.
But it's not an ordinance.
Excuse me. It's a contract, but I believe we have the latest copy. So what you have before you should be, we didn't want to, at one point there was a couple of versions going around and we didn't want everybody passing different ones. So I think you're the third to go, and I think the one that you're looking at is the accurate one, and we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions?
If there are no questions, I move to approve.
I second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to approve. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. For non-agenda items or non-agenda reports and requests, I have it on good authority that it is our lawyer, Mr. Mangini's birthday today.
Do we sing?
So we can have either a rousing round of happy birthday. If I will have a motion for that, we can proceed, or just embarrass him and point him out on public television. That
Happy birthday, Henry.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday, Henry.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Are there any other call-outs or items for non-agenda reports and requests?
I don't think so.
Cool. All right. If not, I will seek a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.
Thank goodness.
Good job, Jeremy.